Hello, so instead of the usual podcast, this is a spoiler video about Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. So if you haven't played the game or beaten it, then you might not want to listen to this. But if you have, then hey, listen to it. This might be enjoyable for you. We basically just talk about the ending and some other stuff and some complaints we have. Thank you.
Standing on the edge of the crater, like the prophets once said, and the ashes are all cold now, no more bullets, and the embers are dead. Whispers in the air tell the tales of the brothers gone. Desolation, devastation.
Now, Illegal Sweet, do you care about Metal Gear Solid 5, like spoilers or anything, or?
Well, I already know how it ends, so I don't really care.
Okay, so yeah, it turns out Big Boss is not Big Boss.
Yeah, he's the medic, right?
Yeah, he's the medic that was in Ground Zero, and it's like, what the fuck? And, like, that's the reason for the Avatar thing, because it's like, whatever Avatar you made in the beginning
Is what he looks like.
is what he actually looks like, is his real face. And yeah, Ishmael was the real Big Boss.
That's what I thought, but everyone was telling me it was Ocelot.
Well, that's what I thought, because I was like, no fucking way. But no, I was wrong. And then it turns out that the man on fire is Volgin.
Yeah.
What?
From Snake Eater. And it's kind of an out there thing, because the dude, Skullface, is like, Volgin, kill him! And you're like, wait, Volgin's here? How the fuck? It's like,
Whole story's a clusterfuck.
yeah, it's kind of... And then Quiet fucking dies, which pisses me off. Like, I'm kind of thankful, because I bumbled into that, looking at the ending, trying to make sure I understood everything. I was like, oh, Quiet, and fuck it, I'll watch it. And it's like, oh yeah, if you choose these two certain missions, she leaves, and then, like, she dies in, like, what was it, mission 45. And that's the one that I refuse to do, because it's like, oh, I got the best partner in here, and if I go through these missions, she'll die? Fuck that.
So you're not too happy with old Kojima then?
It really needed a third act.
Thing is, I knew about all of this shit before the game was even out, because there was like a strategy guide or something that got leaked in Europe.
Oh, did it?
And people were translating it and shit. So all the time I was in the chat saying, guys, you're not going to believe what happens at the end of this. And yeah, I mean, I got it anyway.
How does this fucking random ass medic have all these like skills?
Well,
exactly.
It's like the explanation is like that this guy apparently has been around for like as long as they've been like part of this whole MFS thing, like way before they became Diamond Dogs and shit. And this dude has been like their top men or top guy to work with, and that's the reason they brought him along to like help with the whole Paz situation, was because they trusted him enough. And it's Zero's idea when he finds
in Ground Zeroes he was even.
Yeah, he was the one who took out the bomb.
So where was
Paz.
Big Boss during this whole time?
He was there.
He ditched. He fucking ditched during this game, Phantom Pain. He's like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. And basically the idea is that, like, while this Venom Snake, this one that is the medic, is building up this army of Diamond Dogs, the real Big Boss is building Outer Haven. The one that you, as Solid Snake...
No. No, what it was, I think it was Venom Snake who's building Outer Heaven, and it was Big Boss who's off building Zanzibar Land.
It gets fucking confusing. Because it's like,
Zanzibar Land.
yeah,
Oh,
Zanzibar
from
Land,
Metal Gear 2.
yeah, Metal Gear 2. It gets fucking confusing because
So at the end of Metal Gear 1, you kill Venom Snake.
the fake, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Big Boss in the second one is alive, because that's the real Big Boss. And that gets confusing because it
But
was
that's not actually Big Boss, because
the second one
that was Solidus Snake, who
no,
was...
no,
No.
While Big Boss was
I
injected
know
with
it gets confusing.
nanomachines and put
No,
proteins.
the second one, the one that you set on fire in Metal Gear 2, that is the real Big Boss. And they do keep him in a coma, but the one
He
in
doesn't
4,
actually die.
yeah, in the
And
one,
his body was shown, but that body was actually
Solidus, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It gets fucking confusing. And it's like, the question is, okay, so it's established that the Venom Snake and Big Boss are friends, so why the fuck would he let him die in the long run in Metal Gear 1? And like I go to the Wikipedia to have an answer, they don't even fucking know.
Right, well, no, at least like some of the threads that I read about this, what it was Kojima's way of essentially sucking the player's dick. Pretty much. Because it was him saying, like, you are the medic, and you helped build this legend of Big Boss by playing each of the games. And it's... He fucked his own series trying to be all philosophical, like in MGS.
I almost think that, like, some of this damage was from the controversy of Konami and all, because it feels like there was supposed to be an Act 3, and it's like, all the shit is there, but it's like everything up to 33rd mission, which is the whole Philanthropist, the giant Metal Gear, and you taking it down and everything, and killing Skullface. That's done. Like, that's the end of the chapter.
Skullface?
Skullface
He's no one. He's just some dude.
Well,
With a skull face.
I know.
well,
yeah.
they call him Skullface because, like, he was set on fire or some shit. But it's like, it's said straight out that, like, he's been working, like, he was another Black Ops 4 Fox unit, and that he was basically the guy who was, like, he was the cleanup crew. He was the guy who would send Snake information during Operation Snake Eater, and he would do the cleanup after what goes on, and he would, like, he was the cleanup crew, and that was it. And
So, I read somewhere that Liquid is in this game?
Yeah, he's the kid.
as a little shit, as a little British,
He was so fucking annoying.
yeah, and it's like, at first I thought it was Raiden, because it was like around this time, Raiden is around the same age.
Well, again, like a lot of the people were talking about how it was such a missed opportunity because around this same time, Solidus was in Africa with his own little private army of child soldiers
yeah.
going on,
And
right?
Raiden was there too, in Africa. So it was like, you could have easily brought them fucking in here and been like, okay. Which makes even less sense, because it's like Solidus was made after Eli and David, or like Solid and Liquid. Like, he was made a little bit after, and yet he's like way fucking older than them.
Right?
Which is like, if people say, oh, it's because of the virus that they all have, which, like, advances their growth and shit, which is like, okay, I
But that
understand
wasn't even like originally supposed to be in the story. That was retconned into the story in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Was it? Because I thought, okay, yeah. Right, which is like, okay, I'm fine with that. And it's like, well, if you think about it, this game retcons the entire war between Zero and
Exactly.
Big Boss. Because it's like, in the end, Zero,
Kind of wasn't such a bad guy, really.
he manned up, because, like, in the older years, yeah, he was a fucking dick.
Who's Zero?
Zero is Major Zero, the dude who was your commander in Snake Eater. And
The
he's
English
the one,
guy, yeah.
and he was the one, along with Zero, Paramedic, and I always forget the black guy.
Sigint.
Sigint, is that how you say it?
Something like that.
Yeah. Ocelot and Eva were the original philosophers, or were the original Patriots. They were the one who started the Patriots. And it was all because of the boss's will. They were like, oh, I have this interpretation of the will. And Zero's idea was, okay, if we control all the information and censor certain things in the world, we will become a unified universe. through control and all this other shit. And Big Boss's idea of the boss's will was, oh no, soldiers need to get the respect they deserve and they need to be free for their own actions and do what they want. And that was how the whole Outer Heaven thing was created.
I don't think I haven't played the games, but from what I got from watching Metal Gear Solid 3, it didn't seem like Big Boss interpreted the boss's will as that. He just saw what, because the boss didn't really say something like that. She was just kind of, this is kind of fucked up, but we have to do. And the boss was just kind of took what happened to her and kind of formed his own opinion and say, no, fuck all that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Got fucked over, so...
Yeah, well, that's also the problem, is that his own ideology, his own idea, when he found out, wow, you people fucked this person that I cared about so hard, and just threw her in a ditch, pretty much, into a horrible situation where she was fucked no matter what. So, and that's where his own personal vendetta against, like, America and all this comes from. But in his idea, his own warped idea, he was like, oh no, this is not my problem. This isn't my fault. Like, this is truly what the boss wanted. She wanted free America, when in actuality, no. His own hatred against the American government and all this shit is what has influenced him, not the whole boss's.
So how did Volgin survive?
Volgin, I have no fucking clue. That was so.
Here's what they said is like, because for some stupid fucking reason they have Psycho Mantis in here, who doesn't even fucking speak.
He looks like a girl. Psycho Mantis looks like a fucking girl.
I know, right?
I'm not the only one, because it was even Jeff who thought he was, and I'm like,
no, everything I've read, everyone says it looks like a little girl.
Yeah, because it's the hair. It's the long, like, red hair. It's that he's definitely skinny as shit.
Well,
but what they said is like, they said it in one of the audio tapes that Mantis latches on to whoever's quote unquote lust for revenge.
Yeah, like hatred. Like anyone who has an extreme hatred, he's psychic.
Is the greatest.
So Volgin survived somehow, and Mantis latched onto him because he had hatred?
Well, what happened is
pretty much
that Volgin was somehow in a coma, even though he got the shit shocked out of him.
He had the parasite. He had a parasite in him.
Where was
I thought a bomb blew up on it. I thought the entire base blew up on him.
No, he was technically dead, but what had happened is
technically
he had a
dead.
parasite or something in him, and his body was being controlled by Psycho Mantis.
More or less, yeah, because, like, the way it happened was that once Big Boss woke up, the real one woke up, Psycho Mantis felt that, because Volgin woke up, because he felt Big Boss waking up. And he was like, oh, this dude who shocked me, who fucked up my plans is awake? I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. And that's when Psycho Mantis' real powers woke up and started being attracted to Volgin.
If he has the ability to psychically sense when somebody wakes up, how did he not know that Venom Snake wasn't actually Big Boss?
Well, I think Volgin knew in the end. Because like, you pick up his body after Philanthropist crushes him, pretty much, and he's about to kill Venom Snake, and then there's a brief second where he just stops and he just shuts the fuck down without even doing anything. He just grabs Venom Snake, about to kill him, and then he's like, oh, shit. And then he just shuts down.
So... oh god.
I know, it gets so confusing because the problem is Kojima doesn't do what he usually does, where he goes into really long explanations and shit.
Right. It was like after Metal Gear Solid 4, where everyone complained about the cutscenes, that he was like, well, fuck you, I'm not going to do any cutscenes. You're just going to have an open world. There you go.
So who sent Quiet to kill Big Boss?
Skullface.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, and then Skullface, and then Psycho Mantis latches onto Skullface, and that's how he's able to control the Man on Fire later. Because Psycho Mantis' deal is, whoever has the stronger hatred, or the stronger bloodlust, or whatever,
so how does Psycho Mantis end up working for Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 1.
He doesn't. He starts working for Eli, Liquid Snake, because
at the end of it, he and Psychomantis and Liquid Snake take off with the Metal Gear.
with Philanthropus, and that's how it ends with Eli's thing.
And this is because Kaz in the beginning in Metal Gear Solid 1, Kaz is revealed to be Liquid Snake.
Which one was
So
Kaz?
it was like Kazura Miller.
Oh no,
Isn't that right?
Kazuhiro Miller is just a friend, honestly.
No, I thought Liquid was pretending to be Kaz.
Sorry, again, Metal Gear. These get confusing. Yeah, Ocelot kills Kazuhiro Miller.
He like puts some shit through his mailbox or something like that.
Yeah, like
dies of poisoning or
poisoned
something.
him. And it's even suggested in The Phantom Pain where it's like Kazuhiro Miller, once he finds out that Venom Snake is not really Big Boss, he's like, you know what, fuck Big Boss, fuck everyone, I'm gonna help this dude, the Venom Snake, and his son kill Big Boss, because I'm tired of being fucked around here.
What I find funny as well is the story plays its hand so early with it not being Big Boss. There's a bit earlier in the game where you have to go and get Huey. I'll get Huey in a minute.
The boss AI says, "Oh, you're not
You're not
Jack.
Snake, by the way."
You're not
Wait,
Jack."
the boss AI survived Peace Walker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turns out he was in the ocean, and Strangelove. Oh, Strangelove is Hal's mother. Also,
Wait, who's Hal?
Hal.
Otacon from the original.
Yeah,
Okay.
Otacon.
Metal Gear Solid.
I don't fucking know what's that.
It's like, and the reason, and like, she's full on lesbian, right? And the only reason she had this kid and had sex with Hal's father and got pregnant was because in her mind she wanted a son of a child of her and the boss because she was in love with the boss.
So, how does Raiden survive all the way from
Oh, Raiden's not in.
Snake Eater?
Raiden's not in.
But wasn't Raiden
No,
in Snake
no.
Eater?
No,
No. The reason they put that character in Snake Eater was to basically take the piss out of him because nobody
yeah,
liked him.
just to make a joke, which was
Oh, okay.
fucking hilarious when Vulcan grabs the
He's his little
dude's
butt boy.
crotch. Yeah, he's his butt boy, which is
Okay.
hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, like that was just a little like, yeah, Raiden sucks, which is,
I find it hilarious in this game as well how they made Huey. Huey is arguably the fucking biggest
he's a
monster in this
psychopath.
game.
He's a
He's a fucking
sociopath.
monster.
Yeah, like it established that Hal's father is a fucking sociopath because not only did he, it was because of
Huey
him.
is Otacon.
Otacon's father.
Okay.
Hal is Otacon, Huey is his father.
Yeah, he's the cripple. He's the one who's crippled and everything. It's established that he let Cypher in and destroy the first Mother base, which killed a whole bunch of people.
So what happened at the end of Ground Zeroes was basically because of him.
It's established that he killed Strangelove by throwing her inside the AI, the boss's AI thing, and let her suffocate to death.
And Cypher was Major Zero and...
Cypher was what was before they called themselves the Patriots.
So Cypher, it was what the chick who had her tits out in Snake Eater and Major Zero formed after Snake Eater,
Yeah.
which eventually became the Patriots.
Yeah.
And they became the Patriots after they had half of the Philosopher's Legacy at the end of Snake
They
Eater.
became the Patriots after Zero ended up in a coma. After a vegetative state, because Skullface...
This makes no
It was so fucking
sense.
complicated.
Okay, you're putting this in at either the beginning or the end of the podcast, or maybe it's its own separate thing.
Oh, I'm not... Yeah.
Metal
no,
Gear, what the fuck?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to probably include... Yeah, I'm going to cut this all out. And the whole thing's so fucking complicated, because you're taking what was basically 9 video games and their story... Honestly, this would have been better if this was never made, because everything was already, like Jeff says in one of the podcasts, everything was in a perfect circle. Everything came to a head in 4, and everything made sense.
And then it's like, let's inject this other game.
Let's force this other
And
thing.
then
You're not even big
the
fucking
rest of it
boss.
around it.
And you have this completely new character, more or less, and you don't even know what the fuck is going on with him after. Because, like, what happens after is they gave him a tape, which had the code name for the Outer Haven rebellion, which is how Metal Gear 1 comes up. And he's starting to listen to it, and then he smashes a fucking mirror, and then he just goes, and that's the end. And then it gives up a timeline of what happens in the beginning of Snake Eater all the way to the end where it says, Big Boss is dead. And it's so fucking complicated.
So, how does Solid Snake, end up working, like, he thought Big Boss was his... wasn't a traitor at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 1. How is he working for the U.S. again?
Oh, how is Big Boss working for...
Was Solid Snake ever working for the U.S.?
Yes, he was working for Foxhound, which... So
how did the U.S. ever trust Foxhound if they thought that Big Boss was leading Foxhound?
That's actually a good question. I have no clue. What I would assume... You see, if I didn't know better, I would assume it's because Big Boss had a new face. Because that was the thing. He made himself look like the medic. And everything. But
the medic was Big Boss.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Big Boss made himself look like the medic. And the medic made himself look like Big Boss. Like, they switched faces. It was like Face Off.
I know, but what you're telling me is that the person in Metal Gear Solid 1 who Snake was working for and was like, oh no, I'm Big Boss and I'm actually the bad guy the whole time.
Okay.
That wasn't actually Big Boss, that was Venom Snake.
I have no clue. Yeah. I have no fucking clue, honestly. Yeah, it's like, it's like Foxhound was a thing that was made in the fucking 70s too.
But
like, it's
Foxhound was made to hunt down the former members of the Fox unit.
Yeah, like, it was established that in, what was it? It was Peace Walker, wasn't it? Or it was like Portable Ops or some shit. It was like one of the PSP games. That Foxhound was created and then kept around by Big Boss and Colonel Campbell. Or...
Who the fuck is Colonel Campbell?
Campbell, he's the old guy who is in Metal Gear Solid 1, 4, pretending to be married to Rosemary, Raiden's wife. I'm telling you, all this was so fucking complicated.
I feel like a third grader sitting in the middle of an Oxford lecture on theory.
Right?
It's a clusterfuck.
It's such a clusterfuck, and like it was a clusterfuck before this fucking thing came out, right? It was kind of close, but you could follow it more or less because, again, 4 did the smart thing and put in all those cutscenes that was like, look, here's how it's gone, here's how it's been, here's why everything's been going down, and here's the outcome of all of this.
I really feel like you could make a good 4-movie series out of this.
Oh, no. You would need a TV show.
No. I know.
TV
you
show.
Hack it to shit. Like, you cut out the shit. No. Like, I feel like you could do it in movies, and you just cut out the shit that just doesn't work. Because it's got the right amount of twists, it's engaging enough, but there's not even a little. There's too much shit.
What doesn't work, because, like, almost everything works, or is connected, or is, like, pulled out, because, like, again, in 4, he doesn't leave anything left. Like, he leaves no strings left, you know? He doesn't leave anything gone. He ties up every single thing that works so that there's no questions. Here, it opens up so many fucking things that you have no idea what the fuck, that you're just left fucked, because, like, Skullface poisons Zero. And that's how he ends up in the vegetative state. Siget, in response, is like, okay...
Who the fuck is Siget?
He's the black dude in Snake Eater. And he's the dude who died in Metal Gear Solid 1. Because it turns out that the dude who worked for DARPA in Metal Gear Solid 1 was Siget.
The DARPA chief was Siget?
Yeah. One who was tortured by Ocelot and killed. And that the one octopus dude pretended to be was Siget the whole time and was part of the... I keep getting confused. I keep wanting to say the Philosophers instead of the Patriots. but was part of the Patriots and all. And then Dr. Clark, paramedic, was killed by Gray Fox because she made Gray Fox, the cybernetic ninjas and all that. It's so fucking confusing.
So we just fucked Charles's brain.
Yeah,
into
we just gave him an aneurysm or something. It's so fucking confusing.
I feel like I need to start doing drugs again.
Not even...
That's what Kojima does. He is doing drugs. I'm still pissed that Quiet fucking dies. Because she was fucking awesome.
She hasn't died in my game yet because I've got the stupid emblem. Which, why? That's so ridiculous. So in order to keep her alive...
That makes sense. Why would a butterfly emblem work for one? Why would that stop her?
It's just stupid.
And it's like, really? You would kill probably the most helpful follower and the coolest one in this entire game? Why?
Did you guys see the videos where they replaced the models for Quiet with...
Yeah, I saw that.
Revolver Ocelot?
No! I saw one where
they have the one where she's doing like the sexy shower scene or like the things in the rain, but it's Revolver Ocelot.
That shower scene... is like...
I'm gonna be honest, I actually liked that, and it wasn't because, oh, tits and ass, it was because the end. It was because like, oh, that's kind of sweet, and that's kind of cute and all.
But then it was like, you had like the Mother Base staff like surrounding the cell like fucking fools that they are.
Yeah, because it's like established that the medic and Quiet have like some form of a romantic attachment to each other.
Well, no, what it was she kind of fell in love with him for some reason.
Right.
And then, like, I don't know if anything ever happens to it. I don't think they
nothing
do.
ever happens, but it's like, it's suggested that the medic, I'm just going to call him the medic from now on, because, like, saying Venom Snake, Big Boss, Fake Boss, and all this, I'm just going to call him the medic.
So there's a difference between the medic and the paramedic?
Yeah, because the paramedic was a woman, for one.
Okay.
And she was the one who's made Solid and Liquid Snake.
So why is Venom Snake called the medic?
Well, because he was the medic. Like, I'm just calling him the medic because he was the medic. He was the one who operated on Paz.
For the sake of my sanity, can you guys just refer to the characters who have multiple names as the same name?
I'll just call him Venom Snake then. Fine. Yeah, that's fine. Is it Paz or is it Paz?
I don't think
well, I don't know, because in Peace Walker she says that her real name is Pacifica Ocean.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, she's dead, also, by the way. Like, they pull this bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think the her falling out of a bomb.
No.
In
the fifth one, in this game, they suggest, or they say straight out, when you go to a medical center, you open a specific door at random, and they don't even tell you about this fucking door at all throughout the entire game. You have to stumble onto it. You open up this room, and it turns out Paz is alive.
What?
No, it gets better. Let me finish. It gets even better.
Bomb blew up in her uterus.
Well, no, the way they bullshit and explain is that it turns out she didn't explode. Another helicopter shot a grenade into it. But it gets even better. Listen, it gets even better. It turns out as you are finding these old people that used to work at Mother Base 9 years ago, and you keep giving her these cars and shit, in the end, after you find out you're not Big Boss, it turns out that she was an illusion.
She was a hallucination.
She was a hallucination brought by this Venom Snake, because he has all of Big Boss's memories.
So she is dead.
She is completely fucking dead, yes. He's just been going on a fucking trip.
How does he have his memories?
Hypnophagy. Because of Ocelot. Like, you know how Ocelot thought that he was...
So, Ocelot, they try to play him off as this competent fuck, but he's this, like, criminal mastermind who...
Yeah. Everything he's been doing has been so he could protect Big Boss, because it's suggested that he's in love with Big Boss as well. Like, ever since Snake Eater, you know, when he was, like, idolizing him and all this shit. He's been doing all this shit, all of these crazy, insane, batshit, impossible things.
Well, it's like...
the big tanker, pretending to be Liquid Snake. And he hypnotized himself also, by the way. It wasn't like a ghost possession. It was established that he hypnotized himself into becoming Liquid Snake. All because he wanted to protect Big Boss.
Well, no. What they say is because it was originally supposed to be that his father, because obviously they say that it's like he is actually the son of the boss and the Sorrow. So Kojima said, didn't he say initially that when he gets possessed by Liquid's hand in Metal Gear Solid 2, that was an actual possession. But then by the time Metal Gear Solid 4 rolls around, he's had the hand removed and he's just faking it.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, like he's had the hand removed.
Wait, Liquid gets possessed by Ocelot, or Ocelot gets
possessed by Liquid?
Possessed by Liquid Snake. But here's the thing. That was bullshit too. That was retconned into like, no, he's been hypnotizing himself into believing that he was Liquid Snake.
So that Liquid did actually die, and Liquid's been dead since Metal Gear Solid 2.
Since Metal Gear Solid 1. Like, Liquid's been dead this entire time. Like, they've all been fucking dead. Like, Solidus has been dead since 2. Liquid was dead since 1.
So, who was Liquid in 2? Or was Liquid not in 2?
Liquid was not in 2. Again, it was... Ocelot hypnotized himself into believing that he was being possessed by Liquid Snake. And as it went through, that's why he got rid of the arm, because... to try and rebalance his psyche, because he was hypnotizing himself so fucking much.
So you were fighting Ocelot at the end of Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, as you kept beating his ass, more of Ocelot started coming out. Because, like, the entire time, it was...
But shouldn't he be, like, 80 years old at that point?
He's 75, yeah. And he's beating Snake's ass, which is like, hey, good for you, man.
The thing is as well, like...
Keep it up.
The thing is as well, like, Ocelot's mind is just like layers upon layers of secrets. Like, he has his original memory, and then he like brainwashes himself because he knew that Medic had surgery to look like
Venom Snake. Yeah, and he hypnotized himself into not remembering that fact. Like, this dude's been fucking with himself for years.
So what did so when Big Boss, who woke up Big Boss from his nanomachine comatose state in 4?
Snake. Because once the Patriot AI shut down...
And the Patriot AI was the Boss AI.
No, the Patriot AI was GW, and all those others, like, those AIs were built by Sigget after Zero went into his fucking coma because of Skullface, poisoned him, and whatever.
Okay.
And it was basically a way of being like, oh, hey, let's keep the Patriots alive through these AIs. And even by then, these fucking AIs had fucked up and had warped what Zero's idea was, and what Zero's will was. And by that time, no one even knew what their wills were anymore, or what they fucking wanted.
So they were following the will of a bunch of crazy old robots.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like, by this time, by 4, the fucking AIs don't even know what they're doing, because they're like, fuck it, let's do what we want. Like, that's...
So they wake up... So Snake kills the Patriot AI.
Yes, in 4. And that's
Solid,
Big
and
Boss
that wakes up Big Boss, and Big Boss sees what's happening. He's like, God fucking damn it, fuck all this shit, I'm out. So he doesn't try to help Ocelot, who's his old friend.
In 4, he wakes up and he's like, oh shit, what the fuck did we fucking do? Because by this time, he wakes up and he understands what's been going on for like the past 20 fucking years. And he finds out where Zero is, and that he's been in a vegetative state this entire time, and he's like, and he's basically like, oh my god, we fucked this planet up so bad. And then he goes to Snake and is like, look, okay, I'm sorry, we fucked up bad, and we both, and Zero and me both need to die. And so they die, and it's like, okay, now the new generation is good. And that's where you should have fucking ended it.
Well, and then you have Metal Gear Revengeance, but...
Oh yeah, which is like so far from a Metal Gear game. It's like, what the fuck?
They should just have a new game where it's just the boss in like World War II fucking shit up.
That would have been better, honestly.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, like instead of that would have been
Like the
interesting.
forming of the. Oh no, the Philosopher's Legacy would have already been around at that point.
The forming of the Sorrow and Ocelot and
The what unit?
the Cobra unit.
Yeah.
That's them, right? Illegal.
Yeah.
The Cobra
So
unit.
she's like fucking up shit in World War II and going around and collecting the people for the Cobra unit.
That would have made so much more fucking sense.
Because it wouldn't have been burdened by the fact that you have to morph canon around.
Yeah, like
game.
it wouldn't have been burdened by the fact that you had to fit.
It was why Metal Gear
All
Solid
of
3
this
worked
shit.
so well.
Hmm?
It was why Metal Gear Solid 3 worked so well.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it was a prequel.
yeah, it was a prequel before all of it, so you didn't have to worry so much about how much of it was canon and how it was not.
And this was a prequel sequel.
In a way,
Pre-sequel.
in a way, kind
Pre-sequel.
of. Yeah, it was a pre-sequel in a way. And it's fit so forced in there.
I don't think we even need to record a podcast this week. You just release this.
It's just a spoiler cast.
Oh my god, my brain is still fucking broken. Why in the fuck? So it's established that Big Boss and Venom Snake are friends now. That, they owe each other and that they're keeping out for each other. Why in the fuck
Would he just let his pseudo
his
son...
buddy, his friend, his Phantom die? And it's like, even in the forums and the fucking wiki, it doesn't even know. The people don't even fucking know why. There was one that said, oh, it's because Venom Snake said fuck you to Big Boss and moved on to do his own personal thing. And then it's like, oh no, it's because Big Boss didn't think Solid Snake would actually succeed in this mission.
So
And then,
what happened in these cut scenes? Because I'm sure you've already looked it up, what supposedly happened.
what?
What like, didn't you... Because there was those cut scenes at the levels at the end that supposedly had like extra things that would have answered some more questions.
No,
right.
no, none of that would have answered fucking questions. The only fucking answers would have been what the fuck happens to Eli. And even then, it doesn't really answer.
Who's Eli?
Eli is Liquid Snake. Eli is Liquid Snake's real name, and David is Solid Snake's real name.
Okay.
Got to bring his ass back. It's so because basically, so like Illegal Sweet said, Psychomantis gains an interest in Eli, or fuck it, I'll just call him Liquid Snake, so they know it's they steal Philanthropist, the new Metal Gear that Skullface was making and was working on.
Which doesn't make any sense, because it's by far the most advanced Metal Gear.
Yeah, and how is that the Metal Gear?
It's
So the
a fucking
Philanthropist is
flaming
the shit.
sword.
Ends up being the shitty Metal Gear in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's like the
So they
shittiest-
steal it and they get it to the point, and then they break it down, and then they realize, oh fuck, we don't know how to put this back together.
Well,
Let's just
it
make a
would've made-
shittier
It
version.
would have made more sense, because the head of Philanthropist looks like Metal Gear Rex.
Yeah, Metal
It
Gear
would have made
Rex.
sense if it was the person who designed Philanthropist, Huey, disappears or dies, and all they're left with is the destroyed Philanthropist head, and they're like, well shit, we've got to build a Metal Gear from this, and then they build Rex, but that nothing like that ever happens.
That would have made so much more
So
fucking
you're
sense.
saying it would
And
have
it would have been
sense
ironic.
if Philanthropist was completely destroyed except for that one part that...
Yeah, that would have worked,
Right.
especially since Huey made Metal Gear Rex.
And nobody
It would've-
knew how to make it because Huey's dead.
Well, no, I mean, not Huey. Hal. Hal made... Otacon made Metal Gear Rex. He was a big part of making Metal
So
Gear Rex.
they're like, your dad did this, you can do it too.
Yeah, well, it would have been a whole thing, because, that's always been the thing, where it's they've always connected Ocelot, Otacon, and the Snakes throughout this all these games.
That's the one bit that always seemed a little too coincidental for me, was the fact that Huey and Big Boss work together, and then Huey's son and Big Boss's quote-unquote son work together. That always seemed a little too coincidental to
Yeah,
me.
I understand. Well, it's always been like that in a way, where it's all of these people
But then
have
it's like-
connected through this chain of events and have known each other throughout everything.
But then it's like Huey failed to mention to his son that he's like, oh, by the way, I worked with this big boss guy.
Well, I kind of understand that because it was like even Ocelot said, yeah, no, this dude's not going to say fucking shit. He's going to be full of shit till the day he dies, and until he fucking kills himself. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this dude's been a coward this entire game.
I wish they would have let me shoot him.
Oh yeah,
Such a fucking monster.
he was so pathetic in the end for me. I was like, you know what, fuck it. Yeah, throw him out there. I don't give a shit anymore. He's been such a pathetic weakling that there's no point anymore.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a fascinating adventure.
Yeah, it's so fucking... It would have been better if they did not make this. Or if they had made this, if they had made it to be where it was the boss, where it was the original boss, dealing with the sorrow and having to kill him and having to deal with Ocelot being taken away from them and the philosophers and everything. It would have been much more interesting to do that instead of forcing...
Wait, you mentioned before that the Sorrow and the boss had a kid?
Yeah, Ocelot. Ocelot is the sorrow and the boss's son.
But I thought the boss said that they cut out that she was like pregnant and then they
Yeah. The reason isn't there because the reason she has the scar on her chest is when they she gave birth on the battlefield, right?
Yeah.
they did like a botched cesarean.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
And
Yeah.
that ended up being Ocelot.
Yeah, Ocelot, yeah. Like, all
So
these
how
people have been...
did
That's why
wait? I don't remember. Did the boss ever see Ocelot in Snake Eater?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did she know?
maybe.
Kind.
Kind of. Like, she had a feeling, but Ocelot has never known about
Because
it.
she always assumed. I thought she always assumed that the kid didn't make it.
Maybe. I don't know. It's been so long since I played Snake Eater, which is
I've only seen
the
David
best.
Jason play
But then
it.
it's
Snake
like-
Eater's like the best of the Metal Gear.
That's what everyone seems to.
Yeah, it's
conclude.
fucking tastic.
Yeah. But then it's like, not only do they retcon a large amount of the story, they also basically reason away, like in the same way that Metal Gear Solid 4 reasoned away everything by...
Sweet, you back?
Are you back?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. As you were saying.
Right. Oh. So, like, nanomachines in Metal Gear Solid 4...
Nanomachines.
Nanomachines?
Well, like, the reason for everyone having powers, like Vamp or whatever, he couldn't die because he had nanomachines in him.
Yeah.
But then they do the same here, where they basically reason away, like, Psycho Mantis and all that having special powers by basically saying, oh, well, they had just had parasites in them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's because of the whole, like, I swear to God, they were borderline near the whole, only humans only use 10% of their brains. Psychomantis uses 50% of it. I was so close. I was like, you motherfuckers are so close to using that, it's not even funny. Yeah, that's been established as bullshit for, like, several years now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's the thing is, we use 100% of our brain, but we only
But at
use
different
10%
times.
of each part at a time.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we're moving around the percentage. It's not like the other 90% is cordoned off.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's not like, oh, if you unlock 20%, you can fly. And if you unlock 30, you're God.
So I thought that film Lucy was just so dumb.
Which one was Lucy?
The Scarlett
Oh,
Johansson
right,
one.
yeah, where she
So,
turned into a blob.
What's his face directed?
Yeah.
Luc Besson.
Luc Besson, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy motherfucker.
Getting a sequel though.
Oh, how?
No fucking
It
way.
made money.
Bullshit.
But the-
Are you serious,
But
Lucy?
the ending of that film,
How did you make a sequel with that? It's like she
I don't
turns
know.
into the galaxy or something. Like, that's the established thing, is that in the
Oh
end,
my
she
God.
turns into the universe.
So you know how that film ends, right? Where like
She's gonna fight Darkseid.
where Morgan Freeman gets like a text or something,
Yeah,
right?
God gets attacked.
Right. That is exactly how the Lawnmower Man ends.
Is it? Really?
Holy fuck!
Jesus Christ.
Because in the Lawnmower Man, right?
It was
there's
the prequel to Lawnmower Man.
No. At the end of the Lawnmower Man, he's basically trying to upload his consciousness to the internet, and they think they've stopped him, but then at the end, all the phones ring, basically saying that he's like taken over everything.
Man, I remember Lawnmower Man. That thing was fucking awful.
It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I remember the CGI. It was like, God damn, that's some horrifying shit.
I saw some clips from Johnny Mnemonic the other day, and I was like, Jesus Christ. This was awful.
You see, I like Johnny Mnemonic. Only because it's like, oh god, you have Keanu Reeves in this, and he is hamming the fuck up. Amazing.
Yeah.
But, no, back to... Because I know you were asking questions about, like, the cut-out mission. And apparently it was only one mission, and this was not enough to even give you a big... I would have felt much better. I would feel much better if they did a DLC where you
It
play...
was just a 3-hour cutscene.
Oh, you mean an extended cut?
Yeah, where it was... Yeah, if it was 3 hours, but if it was Venom Snake's perspective of Metal Gear 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, explaining why the fuck did he have to die? What was the point of it all? Why did he do what we do in this? Because at that point, you're just guessing fucking everything. You have no clue what the fuck happens during that time.
Considering that they can't exactly do a sequel to it, I mean, they've kicked Kojima out.
Yeah.
All they could do is a remake.
Yeah. Well, I don't even want...
Oh, no, I have
I'm not
absolute
even saying
certainty
remake. I'm
that
saying,
within
like...
2 to 3 years we're going to hear about... they're just going to call it Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear.
Yeah, or they're going to beg Kojima, please, we're so sorry, we're almost done.
He ain't coming back.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not
really
saying he would accept it, I'm saying that they would try and beg.
I don't know if you noticed this either, but, I don't think it was even the writing which kind of took a nosedive for me, but just, the general direction of the game.
Yeah.
In Snake Eater and all that, he actually thought about, camera angles and stuff, whereas this is just, kind of generic, which is something I wouldn't expect from Kojima at all, really.
I think I would not be surprised if this came off, a much better, do the whole Konami, Kojima, and all that bullshit thing. He, in the end, just said, fuck this. And was
or maybe he never wanted to make this game in the first place.
Or, yeah, even that, where it's yeah.
Like he's been saying for the past 15 years.
Well, it's yeah, he's been saying it in the way that, what I thought it was he was saying it in the way that, Jet Li said, oh, I'm going to quit acting, or, how an actor always says, oh, I'm going to quit acting.
Or,
go into
everyone in the Resident Evil films is this is going to be the last Resident Evil film. We're going to do another one.
Yeah, and you're quietly praying, yes, please let this be the last.
Oh, they're doing another one of those, by the way.
I know, what the fuck.
And she's totally I promise it's the last one this time. But
yeah, it reminds me of that George R.R. Martin in South Park. You know how he's it's coming, but instead it's it's the last one, it's the last one. But it's okay, so the mission, the cutout mission is, it's supposed to focus on Eli, or Liquid Snake, and Psycho Mantis, and it's kind of like a Lord of the Flies thing, Lord of the Flies deal, where they're in this abandoned jungle, right? And the kids have taken control. What?
With the Salanthropus,
yeah,
right?
With Salanthropus. God, it took me 5-6 tries to try and get that name fucking right. Even with them saying it.
I don't know why you would, they all have pretty concise names.
Yeah,
just
Rex, Ray, Gear, whatever. And then this one jackass says, fuck it, Salanthropus. It's wow, he's a pretentious ass. But yeah, so you go into the jungle, and you find Salanthropus, and you find Liquid Snake, and you find Psycho Mantis. There's a big battle that you destroy Salanthropus once and for all, pretty much. Or no, you don't destroy it once and for all. You kind of break it, and then you take it back to Mother Base again, and there's an explosion, and it fucks up Venom Snake's vision to where he can't recognize color, basically. And he starts shooting everyone, including Eli, because there's another squad that's trying to kill Eli, and he's trying to save Eli because he's oh, fuck.
By shooting him.
Yeah, and he's well, fuck, this is technically my son, even though it's not my son, because I'm not really fucking Big Boss. So
Well,
I
no, no,
really
no, no,
have an
even-
emotional connection here.
Even before that, they talk about the Les Enfants Terribles project. Miller talks about it to you, and he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm just going to run a DNA test without him knowing it."
Right,
And he
yeah.
tells you that he's not your son.
Yeah, which is the first suggestion of like, oh, this guy's not Big Boss. Venom Snake is not Big Boss. Like that's one of the first, or that's like the second or third suggestion in this time. And then it basically ends with since Eli. Oh God, you're gonna love this because this brings in a whole other fucking thing. So Eli has this thing, which is a virus that kills people that use the English language. And that's what Quiet has too, and that's why she dies.
But it's the parasite, right?
Yeah, it's a parasite. And that's why Quiet never talked. It was because Skullface gave her one too, and that if she ever talked or said anything in English, this virus would kill anyone or infect anyone that used the English language on a
How
constant.
the fuck
What?
did Liquid talk in other games?
Well, no. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna love this. So basically, after he's been infected with this, trying to kill all these people, they ditch his ass, and he's about to kill himself, and Psycho Mantis comes in and is like, wait, pulls the shit out from his throat, and is like, there you go, you're cured. And then they just go to New York.
Which, as well, because, like, the whole parasite thing, like, halfway through the game...
The parasite thing's just as fucking confusing, because it's based off of the end. The old man had so confusing. Which, okay, by the way, I have to ask, Illegal Swede, were they? I don't know, but did it look like they were making an allusion to 9/11
When?
near the end? Like, did you watch the cutout content for like that mission?
I watched a little bit of it, and then I had to turn it off.
Okay, there's like the final frame is showing the Twin Towers, right?
Well, no, because there was the whole thing back when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out. Like, they actually had 9/11 imagery in Metal Gear Solid 2, but they cut it out.
Right, because you were flipping out. Well, in this, it was like, I don't know, it's so fucking confusing. So, yeah,
Because
okay.
the game released after 9/11.
Yeah.
Can't melt Metal Gear.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the parasites, because even that is fucking complicated.
But
in and of itself.
here's what I thought was stupid, right? So it was at the start of Chapter 2 that Mother Base gets infected, right? And they build the quarantine platform.
Yeah.
That was in Chapter 2.
No, it was, no, they built a quarantine, like, still in Chapter 1.
All right. But anyway, Mother Base gets infected with one of these strains of parasite.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
apparently you can customize the parasite to speak whatever language you want, right?
Right, yeah, and the one that they get hit with at first is the Congo virus. The one that's like, oh, if you're speaking Congo, you're infected and you're gonna die.
But then what I didn't get is after the second outbreak,
Yeah.
they go and torture Quiet and try and get her to talk.
Well, because because it's Miller, and Miller's a fucking moron.
But the argument with Miller being kind of a dick in this game is that
He's
kind of
fucked
having
up hard.
but kind of having an arm, a leg, going blind, and having your life's work taken from you will kind of do that to a person.
Yeah, which is like, okay, that's understandable why he's so pissed. And it's like, yeah, like, they don't know what... well, because it's established that they didn't know what strain of the virus that that Quiet had. No one knew that she had the English strain. Until, what was it, Code Talker? The Navajo guy. The Indian dude. Yeah. Until he talked to her and it was like, oh yeah, all three of these people are in some way in relation to the end. The old man from Snake Eater. Because, like, they do the exact same
trees
thing.
going in it.
Yeah, well, it's because they do the exact same thing that he does with the eyes and everything, where it's like they transform their eyes and shit with that, like, that ink color or whatever, like the End used to be able to do, and it's like,
Which, I loved how when there was that theory still floating around about Quiet being Chico.
I would have been fine with that. I would have been like, okay, sure, she's...
Because in one of the earlier games, they kind of alluded to the fact that Chico was actually, like, the
Transgender.
great-grandson of the End.
Right. Really?
And then, yeah.
See, I didn't play the PSP ones. I've only played like the main console.
I
missed out on
played
a lot of that
I
shit.
haven't played Peace Walker.
Yeah, I missed out on a lot of that shit. I am buying the collector's edition so then I could try and understand this shit more. Maybe.
But it's like, I don't even think that just like the final cutscene was what was cut. I think there was a lot more.
There
stuff
was
that
so
was
much that had to have been cut.
Because there's a bit where I thought it was strange when I think it's in the last mission. You're in the back of a truck with Skullface.
Oh right,
Skullface
and you're
is
just
giving his
talking
big
to
monologue.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah. And Skullface is giving this really long monologue, and then Snake says nothing for the whole journey. And then they
Yeah.
start playing the theme tune over the top, just for some reason.
Yeah, it was like, was this supposed to be a cutscene? Because this feels like it was supposed to be a Kojima cutscene. Because all you had to do was add in like different like black and white pictures and shit, and would have been the usual Metal Gear cutscene that you see, where they go into long explanations and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was funny. I was laughing my ass off because it's Snake. It's Venom Snake, just like, uh-huh.
Well, what I thought was
Yes.
hilarious was because you still have kind of control over, like, you can move the camera and everything.
Yeah, you're
Right.
moving the camera around and shit.
And he has that little idle animation or whatever, when he's not doing anything, he's just looking around. And Scarface finished giving his speech on mine, and I had the camera behind him, and as soon as he finished, Snake just looked at the camera and was like, and then he looked back again.
He's like, fuck. I thought we were over with this shit. This could have been a cutscene, guys. Come on. Yeah, and then the music, which is fantastic, by the way. I will say this.
It was just didn't fit.
Yeah, it was out of nowhere. It was like, the fuck you. It's. Yeah, it's like, I love the music. It's fantastic music, and it's by the same woman who did the theme for Snake Eater, which was great.
And Peace Walker as well.
And Peace Walker, which was like, oh yeah, fantastic. And like, man, I gotta say, that chick got some pipes, you know? Oh god, yeah, but it was so confusing. And it was like Quiet, I fucking love Quiet. Like, her introduction was fantastic because it's like, she gets kidnapped, she gets nabbed by Venom Snake, and she turns invisible and hides in the helicopter. And then she takes down this jet that is going like Mach 2 by using a sniper rifle, and it was fucking awesome.
Well, what I loved about it was, like, I had no idea when you found her. So I was just on my way to a side op, and I just happened to go through this area, and I was like,
and then
some
you got
sniper just
shot
started
at
shooting me, and I was like, shit. And it felt organic to me, and I was like, okay, Kojima, pretty cool.
Yeah, that was great, because, yeah, I did the same thing, because I was trying to pick up, what the fuck is his name? Yeah, Huey, yeah, Hal Huey, I always get confused. I was trying to pick up Huey, because that's where I was supposed to go, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I don't have anything better. So I'm on the horse and everything, boom, psh, what the fuck?
Which, we didn't mention that either, Charles. The reason he killed Strangelove was because she objected to him using Child Otacon as a subject for the Metal Gear.
For the Philanthropist Metal Gear. Because, like, for some inane reason, they made the cockpit so fucking small that only a child could fit into it.
So, who killed Strangelove?
Otacon's dad.
Ah.
It's so fucking complicated, and so...
Have you tried playing the FOV stuff?
FOV. Oh, wait,
FOV.
is that online shit where you're, like, invading other people's stuff and all?
Yeah.
No, I had no fucking interest in that.
I'm telling you right now, it's a waste.
I know. Yeah, all that shit, all that online shit, I guarantee you, if someone had told me, if Kojima has said, oh yeah, no, that was Konami's idea, I wouldn't have been surprised.
No, I'm actually looking forward to the online stuff, which comes out in October, but the FOB stuff where it's like you invade other people's spaces.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, that shit, I would not be surprised if that was some, like, Konami shit, because that is so forced and so useless, and...
But the thing is, they did the same thing as Watch Dogs, where they worked it into the story.
Yeah, but it was still, like, kind of forced as shit.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, where it was, oh god, fucking Watch Dogs. I forgot about that game. As most of the other fucking country probably has.
But then, even, like, with its inclusion, like, I've done a couple where you sneak in or whatever.
Right.
You often lose money for doing it. Because the cost of deployment is higher than what you will actually get.
Really?
Yeah. So I've done it, I've done it about 12 times now, 12 successful times doing it. And the only times I've ever gained something is when I've actually gone out of my way to steal resources.
Right.
Every other time I've done it, I've come off with, like, final mission budget is, like, minus 50,000 GMP or whatever.
Jesus.
For no other reason than it's like, it costs more to do it than to actually go into the base and do it.
See, I never did it, like, at all. Because I found no reason to, because I wasn't interested in that shit. I was not... All I wanted was, like, the story and shit, and it's like... The story for the first part, for, like, the first chapter to Skullface and the end, that was okay. That was like, okay, I'm fine with that. But then... It's almost like they wrote it, and then once they finished up with this big fight, they're like, well, shit, what do we do now? And
it's so disjointed.
Yeah, and it was like, it was such a hard attempt to be like, well, shit, we have to wrap up some of this shit at least. Like, you could have easily taken out the fact that Venom Snake was not Big Boss, and nothing would have really genuinely changed. Because it would have all ended up the same. Because they've got his fucking army. He has his army. He has basically his outer heaven. And, like, they kept saying, oh, yeah, everyone's after him, everyone wants to kill him. Well, apparently he fucking handled them really alright. By blowing off this dude's hands and legs. And destroying the fucking Metal Gear. Apparently he wasn't as, like, in much trouble as he thought.
Well, it's like... because I kind of have my suspicions about it from, like, the first moment I saw Big Boss with the horn or whatever, and why the fuck does the horn grow?
Well, okay, it's like, look, he's becoming a demon.
Well, no, I get that, but, like, in universe, like, why does the horn grow?
Well, because it's Venom Snake's, like, perspective, like, oh, I'm becoming more of a monster, I'm becoming more of a demon and all that shit. That's why, like, whenever the horn grows, it shows that he's just lathered in blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good excuse.
Yeah. Yeah, which is like, okay, that's a whole Japanese thing, trying to do style over substance or whatever.
Did you know as well?
Thing.
Like, because I think towards the end of the game you get the ability to develop a nuke, right?
Yes, I didn't even fucking do that.
Because and as soon as you develop the nuke, it automatically turns you into Demon Snake with the giant horn.
Does it?
Automatically does it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. Well, I think that's the way of like, look, Big Boss has finally become the evil that he prophesized to be, and it's like...
Then you can dispose of the nuke as soon as you've made it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you see, that's the thing, is like, you're playing... Once you see all this shit, and it's like, I know they're trying to make Big Boss look like the bad guy.
He just isn't, because it's not him, it's the medic.
Well, not even that, but even the fucking medic, even Venom Snake doesn't look like the bad guy, because everything around him that he's forced to do makes sense. Like, him going into the quarantine and killing those people, that makes sense. Because they couldn't go outside or they were fucked.
Like, that was actually some of the cool bits for me. It made me really sad that we're not going to get Silent Hills, because there are bits in this, like, the bit where you go into the Devil's house.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, there was a lot of great... Like I said, there's a lot of great stuff in the Chapter 1, where, like, all the way up to once you kill Skullface, there's a lot of great stuff that really builds, like... And then it's like, after that happens, there's such... I guess the writers went, oh shit, we blew our wad. And
Without tying up any of these loose ends.
Yeah, and now we just need to try and tie up whatever loose ends we can. And it was like, okay, I guess that's all right, I guess, but I would really love a DLC. I would prefer a DLC where you play Metal Gear from the perspective... Metal Gear. But you play it... I love David Hayter so much. It's like... really? You should... Why the... Okay. Why?
No, we're not getting into that. It's been discussed over and over again.
I need to understand.
It's done. The game is out.
I don't mind.
It's still so
I don't mind.
No. Let me finish. Why in the fuck would you get what's his face from 24 when he barely says? He at most says 15 lines of dialogue.
Well, that's how I can tell that they cut stuff out.
Yeah. Is that, or is like, oh, hey, you can actually go back. You can go back to these games and play as the different characters that you hire. So it was like, okay, either they cut a shitload of stuff out, or it was an attempt to be like, oh, you can play as like this female here in this story mode, or you can play as this person in this story. You know what I mean? Because like, there's an option for like when you before you when you
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you can select a character, and once you beat the game, you can actually, or once you get to that reveal, you can select Venom Snake's real face, his original face before he looked like Big Boss, or you can like go as any of the security team guys, and it's like you can only do that when they don't have Venom Snake talk.
Makes me wonder if there was some sort of like conflict between David Hayter and Kojima.
Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it was just that David Hayter was like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm kind of tired. I've been doing this for like 20 years.
No, he was not. He wanted to do it. He was vocally pissed off when he wasn't called to do it.
Oh, really?
He was twittering up a storm.
Oh, that's it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't fucking know why then. I don't know. Maybe it was I don't see why Kojima wouldn't want him. Like, I don't know. Maybe that was just a Konami thing. Like, again, this game would have been so much fucking better if you had just stopped at the first chapter and been done. Like, if you... And even then, it's like, what? I told Armstrong this, where it's like only... there's 7 missions that are actually part of the story, and, like, the rest, all the way to 50, are just rehashes.
Yeah, it's like... I lost my fucking mind last night playing the one where the helicopter crashes.
Oh, don't you even get me fucking... I hated that one.
Jesus Christ. But
where all the skulls are like OP as shit and trying to...
You played it on Extreme?
No, I tried it once, and then one... Oh my God. And they hit me once, and I died, and I was like, nope, not gonna try. Not even.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't...
And you don't even need to fucking do those.
Yeah, well, like, the only incentive for doing them is if you do them, you unlock, like, the Cyborg Ninja skin. The one that was in Ground Zeroes, like, the low poly one.
Oh, really? I don't fucking need that. I'm not in... God, Jesus Christ.
And it's like, and then your reward for S-ranking them all is you get the Raiden skin from Revengeance.
What? No.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's fucking stupid. You see, I would have loved to see what was actually Kojima's ideas and what was Konami. Like, what was their idea to talk? Like, did Konami have... Because some of this feels like fucking, like, you know, the man in the suit ordered this shit kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, I Jesus Christ, yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in to our Metal Gear spoiler cast, everybody.
I'm still fucking pissed that Quiet died. Really? You kill off the coolest fucking character.
All right, guys. Story withstanding. You give this game a rating. Just 2, maybe 3 sentence sum up with your explanation why. Swede, you first.
Do I have to give a score?
Yeah, out of 5.
Shit.
Oh, would you mind if I do like add a 1 out of 10 kind of thing?
Nope, out of 5.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is simultaneously one of the most enjoyable and disappointing games of the year.
Yeah.
Stay around for the gameplay, forget the story. 3.5 out of 5.
Brian.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what Illegal Swede said. This is one of the most enjoyable games, and yet one of the most disappointing of this year. That says it perfectly. Honestly, I would say stay until Chapter 1 is done, and then leave, and you'll get probably the best enjoyment out of it. And then whatever you want, just look on the internet. I would give this a 3. Like a 3.5 out of 5.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Turns out if you're a Metal Gear fan, you will probably not enjoy this game as much as other people.
Yeah.
So, sounds like solid gameplay, fucked up story.
Yeah.
That's what you did there.
Like, if anything, it's like the gameplay.
I made a pun.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I have that so?
Yeah, you did. I just noticed that. Good job.
Recently. I make puns without realizing it.
You're like the Brian Brushwood, or the fucking Brian Salisbury of our...
Well, I did attach this arm to me that said Chris Cox. I don't really know what's...
oh, no!
Recently.
Kill it! Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire! Actually, that is one of the things, that, if anything, the gameplay is actually really good.
Oh, it's stellar. It's amazing.
I do have a complaint that it's like, okay, you're going to end up in, like, only 3 places. Mother Base, Africa, or Afghanistan. And it all looks like horrible, horrible shit.
It suffers from what I call LA Noire syndrome. It's an open-world game that doesn't need to be open-world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you could have easily just made the same standard Metal Gear, where it's a bunch of just interconnected areas, instead of just having an empty open world.
Well, you could have done what Metal Gear Solid 4 did, where it was like, it was open as much as it could have been, but you still had that stuff where it was like, okay, yeah, this is open as open as it can be, but you can't really take a fucking Jeep and drive all around and shit.
Yeah.
Like I said,
stealth games in open world just don't cross.
Yeah.
Well, I think the stealth's fine. I just think that having it be an open world game and then having nothing in the open world's redundant.
Because, like, Afghanistan and Africa are more or less the same thing, where it's like, it's a wide open fields and lots of mountains and shit, and it's like, you only really get deep into African, like, forests and shit once you start trying to pick up Code Talker, and then that's when it gets really cool. Which, that dude was a Navajo. That dude was Indian, which is like, oh, awesome. We have representation of Indian people. Holy shit. Haven't seen, like, an Indian character since, like, what was it, Prey?
I thought Vulcan Raven was Native American.
Was he? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he was. God, I forgot. Again, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid. I haven't played, like, the older ones, like, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 2, all those, since, like, they were out.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, the one that I keep going back to is 3. That one was fucking awesome.
I mean, I know I'm a person of odd taste, but I do really like Metal Gear Solid 2.
You know what? I do like it as well, because I don't think it was as bad as everyone proclaimed. Like, I think the reason people said it was so bad at first, when it first came out, was because Kojima, the balls on him, he was able to keep it quiet that where you were not going to play Snake. And he did the mindfuck of you playing Raiden. And I guess people were so pissed at that, they totally forgot about everything else.
Well, I mean, like, thematically, it's probably, like, the richest out of all of them. But simultaneously, I think Kojima did that because at the time, after every Metal Gear, he says, "This is my last Metal Gear."
Yeah.
And I think because he wanted to make his, magnum opus or whatever with MGS2, and then Konami said, well, you got to do another one. He fucked over the series because the stuff that happens in that is incomprehensible. So then he had to go out. He had to go out of his way to make that fit in.
Yeah. Which, hey, for the job he did, it was great. That's why Metal Gear Solid 4 was great, because it was like, wow, you pulled it all off. You actually were able to wrap all of this up as much as humanly possible.
Mm.
In its own crazy, fucked up little story and all. I'm still pissed. I fucking loved Quiet, man. She was awesome.
Well, like Kojima, I'm going to try to end this podcast for the 4th time.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Do we actually want to continue and do
I think this
is the Metal Gear Solid spoiler cast, right?
This is a spoiler cast, yeah. So there's probably not going to be a lot of people who are going to listen to this shit.
Not really a lot of interesting news happened this week anyways.
It was like, what?
So, yeah, this
Witcher DLC and Fallout Season Pass.
Yay!
Japanese release date for Dark Souls 3, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Only Jeff cares about that.
I don't know, I kind of care. I'm like, okay, how long...
March 24th, 2016 is Japanese release date for the PC and Xbox One.
I'm more interested in, okay, how long can they keep Dark Souls going until...
I'm sick of it already.
Miyazaki said that this is thematically the last one in the Dark Souls series, but...
Okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
Bandai may try to Kojima him.
Yeah. Or pull a Halo and be like, fuck it, give it to some other person.
And they promptly fuck it all up.
Yeah. Ugh.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a tale for the ages, as it were. Alright, we'll end this now. At least the podcast part.
Thank you. It's been Ryan Graff, Charles Armstrong, and Legal Swede.
And I'm going to go blow my brains out now, because there's no more information my brain could possibly take in.
Oh god, we didn't even go into detail about the parasites.
No, we didn't! Podcast over!
What parasites?
All parasites? Yes. Oh god.